Hello again, drift car fans. So we have another car model from Aoshima, that's the brand, and this seems to be one of their Itasha style vehicles where they have a bunch of cartoons all over the things. But what we're looking at is a Toyota Chaser, and this one in particular has a Vertex body kit on it. And it looks like this thing's brand new because there's one piece of tape and it's never been cut before. So let us christen. Oh no, it was cut before. My bad. It is used, or it was opened. So this graphic scheme, by the way, is from a cartoon series called K-On! It's about some girls in high school or college. They're in a music band, and I imagine they play a lot of music, but I've never watched it or anything like that. I don't really follow cartoons anymore. Let's see here. So it's gonna be hard, but you gotta get past the graphics and just look at the molding itself of this Vertex body kit. I do think this is pretty accurate, right? There's a light there, that vent looks similar, the four headlights, right? So that looks pretty good. Maybe the mirrors are different from that one though, but the rear end, at least the tailpipe's in the right place. It seems to have the sculpting, so the tail lights. That might be a different year car, so maybe the tail lights are a little different there. Well, it's hard to find images of body kitted cars of the exact year, and I don't really know the exact year that Aoshima is trying to model. But what I do know is the Toyota Chaser dates back to 1977 and then ended with this generation, the sixth generation, which was available between 1996 and then it ended in 2001. The engines are all up in front, either 2 to 3 liter inline 4s to inline 6s, and then it was available in rear wheel drive and also all wheel drive. So it's pretty cool. Alright, well, that's all I learned about the car, so let's try to get past these graphics and just look at the model. So naturally the wheels leave a lot to be desired. I mean, they're not hollow. So this might be a candidate for one of these wheel swaps that I'd like to do. So we'll have to see if that happens. Okay, so we got we got some flush door handles. Well, they're kind of recessed a little bit. All these graphics, by the way, are decals. I'm starting to wonder if I could try to strip those decals off, but I'm afraid it'll just you'll see the outline of the decal, because this thing is old. Maybe it got sun exposure and the decal's blocked off a lot of it, right? It might actually be darker purple underneath that decal. So I think I'll just leave it alone. The mirrors have nothing on them, but there's some black paint for the window trim. So the front end, yeah, those headlights look great because there's a lens and then it looks like there's 3 bulbs behind it. A little silver paint for these fog lamps. This vent goes in. Smooth in there. Okay. No visible wiper blades I can see, but they seem to be invisible on the real car as well. Vertex, that's the brand of this body kit. This side, yeah, just one of the graphics. All I'm looking for is some paint problems. That's just some gunk. Alright. Back end, well, this is actually the nicest view of the car because there aren't any graphics back here. It's nice to see there's a license plate. There's a Vertex license plate. And then these tail lamps do have clear at the top and then red at the bottom. And then again, it looks like 2 or 3 light bulbs are behind there. The exhaust is just blanked off though. And then, yeah, some graphic. The interior is just black molded plastic, so without a flashlight you really can't see much, but once you do get the light in there, it's your standard detail work. Looks, I mean, that steering wheel doesn't look really generic, so I'm sure it's accurate to the real car. Okay, well, this one actually has an Aoshima brand and the name of the car. That's a first. I have a lot of these Aoshima cars, and a lot of them don't even have the brand, never mind the name of the vehicle. So, and the scale. Wow, so improvements. This might be the newest Aoshima I have, because most of them don't have any of this text on it. And then it is nice that the thing's screwed together, so if I do decide to do a wheel swap, it's going to be easier. The treads look pretty good. Yeah, they're rubbery. Okay. Well, alright. So naturally, it's the graphics. The graphics are probably not to everyone's liking. I can't really say they're really to my liking, because I'm not really a fan of K-On! Cartoon about little teenage girls playing in a music band or whatever it is. But I don't know. I just haven't seen too many of these come up for sale, so I went and got this one. I don't have a Toyota Chaser in my collection. This is my first, so this is where we're at. Now here's another Aoshima. The Toyota Chaser is based on the Mark II chassis, and this is an Aoshima from the Grachon collection. And so look at the base of this. It does have a weak brand, but no information on the car itself. And so being from a Grachon collection, it's got totally lowered stance. Look at that. It's so different in its height. But overall, the dimensions look similar because I guess they're based on the same type of chassis. Granted, I think this is a much older one. Older Mark II. Okay, so that's all I really have to compare to. But hey, you know, if you like cartoons and cars, maybe you do want to pick one of these up. But for me, I just wanted to get a cool Chaser, and I guess this is as good as it's gonna get for me. I would suspect that maybe TLV will eventually do one, right? Because this is definitely a JDM car. But we'll have to wait and see for that, if that ever materializes. But wait, there's more. So yeah, I did swap out the wheels because this is one of those diecasts that takes big tires. So if you're unfamiliar, I've done a few videos now on this brand, Word C, the custom alloy wheels, and so that's what I have on this guy. I did have to use some spacers up in the front though, so if you look at the bottom here, you know, the backs are just pressing against the chassis itself, but the front being skinnier tires, I had to put in some 3mm nylon nuts or plastic nuts there to space it out properly. But it wasn't really hard to do, probably 10-15 minutes. I did have to cut the axle length down a little bit though, so I have a Dremel tool with the cutting disc, and so trimmed the axle a little bit that way. I wouldn't suggest you try to clip the axle because you'll just crush it and then you can't get the axle end into it. So you have to cut it off with like a saw or something like that so you can retain the circularness of the axle, right? Okay, well, anyways, I'm much happier now. I just hate blanked off spokes. I don't know what I hate more, exposed axles like these, or no, I think I actually hate blanked off wheels more. I'm pretty cool with these wheels even though they have exposed axles. So anyways, if you want to make a nice model better, hop online and get a couple of these Word C wheels. But I do have to give a caveat, they're only good for like Hot Wheels and other models that have giant wheel wells, because I think I measured these out to be around 22-inch rims. Never mind the tire on top of it, so they're giant size. But actually, if you look at this image behind, that guy's rolling some giant size wheels on his car. So that's just coincidence that those spokes actually look kind of similar as well. That's complete coincidence. Wow, weird how the world works that way. Okay, well, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next wheel swap.